All right, we are talking free product strategy. This is by far one of my favorite tools to use in our Kajabi experience for a lead magnet because it provides an experience, because of the flexibility, because it truly allows people to see exactly what it is like interacting with you, engaging with your content. And recently, I have been a student of Walt Disney, and a key piece that I learned, really because they highlighted it, I just had never noticed, is that involving setting. And Walt and all of Disney is so in tune to the setting. How is the setting enhancing the experience? When we go to Disneyland or Disney World or watch a Disney movie, the setting is so much a part of what is going on that often we take it for granted. When I go to Disney World, I walk into Tomorrowland and everything is Tomorrowland. It's not just the ride, Space Mountain, or the airplanes, or the little car, the little tram that runs around. I think Journey to the Past, something like that. It's not just the ride, it's everything. We have that exact same opportunity in a digital world. And Kajabi makes our setting beautiful. It allows us to make sure all of the trash cans are in alignment, all of the street signs are aligned, that it's easy to go from one place to another, from our site to a product to a cross sell to a booking, an appointment. So that's why I like the free product, because the free product is your Disney World. It is your setting. It is your desired destination. All right? If you haven't watched the desired destination videos, watch those. All of it will make a whole lot of sense. And you're not just sending them a PDF that they totally forget about. That would be forgotten download land. We don't like that. We don't want people to just give us their email, give us their name, send them a PDF, and then work like crazy trying to get their attention. When instead, you may build a free product. Even if you're on a basic plan, that free product will work for you. Don't be scared about using one free product out of your 5 because you're not charging for it. I'm going to show you that product is going to convert your sales for you. It is your team member. It works 24/7. So let's start by working through the free product. We'll call it strategies because there's many different ways. As we're working through this, it's really important for you to be jotting down, why are you offering this? Where do you want people to go? How is this going to translate for you? And when I'm teaching, when I'm sharing with you what I know, I really want to convey to you that it is a system. It is a process. It is going to support what you want to do, but what it ends up looking like is very different. Take, for example, a building structure, a home. We have a foundation, we have flooring, we have walls, and we have a roof. That is consistent among every single home in my neighborhood. There's 160 houses. Every single house has foundation, flooring, walls, and a roof. But if you step outside of my house, every house on our block looks entirely different. But we all have the same structure. We have the same process. We have the same foundation. That is exactly, as we're working through the free product strategy, that's what you're going to build. You are going to build your foundation, your flooring, your walls, and your ceiling. But it's going to look entirely different, as it should, from anybody else. And that is, to me, one of the key pieces that I really, really, really want to emphasize whenever I'm sharing what I know, because you are unique. You are an expert. You are a guru. You do not need to imitate or simply duplicate what you see anyone else doing. You should be learning from people that can show you the structure and the system that will support no matter what you want to build. So your free product in Kajabi, and we'll write it here, free product, okay? Here it is. And this is where you really want to think about what is its purpose? How is it serving you? I explain this in the context of North Pole to a New York City journey. I'm going to share that with you very quickly. We go in depth inside Training Wheels, which is my program for learning and enjoying Kajabi on your own. But when you're at the North Pole, when you hear that word, what do you think? Santa Claus, cold, maybe some sled dogs, Alaska. Those are quickly images that are going to pop into your head. This is exactly the same in your business. This is your cold traffic. This is people, they don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. You may have popped up in their newsfeed. Somebody might have shared a YouTube video. They stumbled across you. They're cold. These are your reed magnets, okay? And a reed magnet, if you are new to the online world, which I was, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, what are all these words? A reed magnet is simply something I interact with in my world that I don't need to give you my name for, I don't need to pay for, I don't need a password, I don't need an email, so I can consume it wherever I am. This could be a blog post, it could be a video on YouTube, it could be an Instagram post, something I find on Pinterest, something I find on LinkedIn, your business card that sends me there, any of those pieces of content that I can engage with that have no tie to you whatsoever, those are my reed magnets. All right, this is where we're introducing ourselves to people. Then the next step in our North Pole journey, and I need to share with you the ultimate destination, okay? The ultimate destination is New York City. New York City, what words do you think of? Lights, Broadway, money, big buildings, lots of people, commerce, shopping, all of that. This is where the money is. This is when people are buying from you, okay? This is your hot, okay, the hot nightlife, your hot traffic, and these are your core products, okay? What you want to sell. And this is not reflective of a dollar amount necessarily. This is your core offering. What are you sharing with people? What are you selling to them? What are you educating them about? That happens in New York City. Well, we have to get from cold to New York. If I said to you, you're in the North Pole, you need to be in New York by tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., how could you pull that off? You'd have to book a flight. You would want the quickest, fastest airplane flight you could get your hands on. You would want to do that super fast, okay? That's what we want your customers to do. What we want to somewhat prevent, although we will account for it, is someone that says, oh, I'm in the North Pole, but you gave me a year to get to New York City. All right, they could take a plane for part of it, they could walk part of it, drive, public transportation, detour through some cities. There's lots of ways that they can get from the North Pole to New York if I give them a year to do it, all right? That is my metaphor for explaining this online business delivery system for your products, lead magnets, reed magnets. So with that in mind, once they've read something, we want to get them a lead magnet. You heard me say my favorite lead magnet is a free product in Kajabi. So the next step on this journey is a lead magnet. What this means is that your visitors, of which you had no information on them, they are willing to give you their information, their name and their email address. When they do that, they leave their visitor label behind. They take on the subscriber label. All right? When they've done that, you have their information. The reason I love it in Kajabi is you've gone one step further. Power of the password, people. This is the beauty, the sheer beauty of Kajabi, of using Kajabi for your business. There's lots of pieces. This is one of my favorites. When they give me their name and their email, all right, I don't have anything more than anybody else in the entire interwebs. Any other platform, any other tools, anything. I don't have anything more on them. They're now in my system. But with Kajabi, with the free product strategy, I have given them an offer. The offer has the free product. And that means they have a username and a password. Power of the password. They are now closer to me than anybody else out there, than any other platform. I have in one step brought my subscribers, they're not customers yet, they haven't purchased. My subscribers are now closer. And if you've watched my videos on desired destinations and email conversations, funnel flippers, you know what I'm talking about. Now I have a host of ways to converse, to engage with my customer, to provide them the Disney experience, to provide them the Virgin Atlantic experience, the whatever company you feel as a customer treats you so well. For me, it's the Kajabi experience. They're so good at taking care of us. But this lead magnet has done a crazy amount of work for me. And we're going to get into all of that. The step right here, all right, this is your intro product, okay? There's 4 main steps. Cold traffic, they're reading, watching, listening to you. They have no connection. They're a visitor. They say, you know what? I like this person enough. I trust them enough. I'm going to give them my name and email. They take off the visitor hat. They put on the subscriber hat. The intro product means as a subscriber, they now know, they like, and they trust you enough to give you some money. They take off the subscriber hat. They put on the customer hat here. Then, if, again, your business model has a step for someone after, you bought this intro product to get a taste of what it was like to work with me. Do I know what I'm talking about? Am I someone you want to forge a relationship with? Yes. Then they move into your core offerings, whatever those might be. So, this crazy powerful, I'm talking crazy powerful free product right here, in a lot of ways, is this magical key to showing people all that you do without having to rely on traditional send an email, hope they buy, send an email, hope they buy, send an email, hope they buy. There's a part of that, and I'm going to show you how to weave the conversations of inviting people. Hi, I have this. Would you like to come in? Hi, I have this. Would you like to come in? It's a very different experience. It is an experience that builds a foundation for your business. So let's now dive in to this incredibly powerful free product. So we're going to take away our drawing. I think you guys have all that. Okay. All right. So what do we know about a product in Kajabi? All right. Well, we know, one, you have a username and password. Out of the gate. Now, if you look at the way online business has happened in the past, and I'm just going to do that by a crazy out of control funnel. It's what it feels like to me when I'm tripping over wires and falling down funnel holes, and it just seems a little out of control. But here, I have to do this. I have to send an email and I need crazy high numbers. All right. I need like 10,000. I might get, 5% of that moving to the next phase, like moving down, which means I have to constantly keep increasing this number. It's a little crazy to me. Or you keep sending email and you're hoping that you get a percent to make it down to get what? To eventually get a product. How many layers do people build hoping to get somebody to a product? Or, dun dun da da, Kajabi, free product, works just like a regular product. They've got their product out of the get-go. Or, however many steps you want to go through to sell product down here. Every one of these steps is your time, it's your money, it's your energy. You will see. I am not opposed to funnels at all. I love decision trees. I love giving a pathway. I want it to happen when they've already got a username and password because I can control it. I can make it a better experience. If it's a better experience, they convert much better. All right? So it's a very different way of looking at it and one that I love it. I love it so much. Because it aligns with me, it aligns with how I want to be treated, and I get to treat people the way that I'd like to be treated in their businesses. So username and password. With this, okay, this is where it gets really fun. So in a Kajabi product, you have a header, right? Sits at the top of every product. In Kajabi, you have the ability to create, and there's not a limit, custom navigation list. All right. If you're in Kajabi, you go underneath your website from your left-hand side dashboard. You click on navigation, and then you click on create new link list. It's that easy. With this custom navigation list, which I determine by the product, so it can be just for this product. What do my customers need at their fingertips? Okay? This is where I want you to visualize either, I'll use Disney World as an example. If you've never been there, maybe you just pull up a map of Disney on your computer and you can see what I'm talking about. When I go into Disney World, I have the whole park available, but I have to go to one section at a time. So if I have to pick, I'm going to go to Tomorrowland, not Frontierland, not the new, there's like a new circus area, there's Adventureland. And when I choose that, I don't see signs or any kind of decorations that are out of place. Like that will never happen. That's your free product. All right, your free product is part of your Disney World. So let's draw, okay, your Disney. And I'm going to use just 5 spokes on this as if you have the basic level for Kajabi. So free product, and then we're going to have product 2, product 3, product 4, and product 5. So let's say this is Disney, this is Tomorrowland, this is Frontier. Oh, goodness. This is, I think Adventure is one. Oh, Fantasy. I was going to say it's Small World Land, but it's not Fantasy. Okay? They have very different sections. This is why we are talking about your section. What is the experience that you're providing in one area of your park? Because ideally, we want them to visit all of your different stuff. We want them to be in New York. We want them to be buying what you have. And this, like I said, don't hesitate to use a free product. This is your workhorse. This is you do this well, you think it through, this is going to serve your business incredibly well. Having your navigation list at your fingertips means you customize what links are in that product. When I'm in this part of your park, what do I need at my fingertips? I don't need the standard menu that you have on your website. I might need, and I'll give you an example for what I do. I do contact instructor, class, you could do class announcements or latest news. You might have maybe you have a mind map or a table of contents. Let's do table of contents better. Roadmap. So contacting the instructor. I use ManyChat. I have been using conversational messenger robots since January of 2017. Love them. I set up a growth link, and when I do that, a growth tool in ManyChat, and they message me directly. I do the same thing for class announcements. I have a growth tool for this only, not everything, this only happens through ManyChat. They can click this, go straight to signing up for the class announcements. If I do a impromptu teaching, if I have found something that is helpful to this, I send it out. My filter is I'm sending it and conversing exactly like I would with a very close friend. I am not dumping them down a funnel. I am not sending a string of messages for the sake of sending a string of messages. I am 100% all of the time filtering myself. How would this feel to the other person? Is this inviting them to engage with me? Is this inviting them to something that they would enjoy? When you do that, you don't have to worry about open rates. They take care of themselves. So that's what I mean by using your custom navigation list to curate this experience. You can't do this in a downloaded PDF. You can't do this outside of a free product. You can try. It's not going to happen. You can send email messages, but if they don't click on them in the right order, that kills most people's work. Like, you set up this crazy email string, but people are clicking in it in different parts, makes it hard. So that is one of my favorite. I'm going to stop saying they're my favorite. They're all my favorite. So header, custom navigation link list at your fingertips. You also have the ability in this header to set a call to action. Okay, we'll abbreviate that as call to action. The cool thing is that this call to action shows up as a dark, or can show up as a dark button at the end of the nav list. So you can, if you're in a free product, let's say you're a coach and you offer discovery calls. Or myself, I do group discovery calls. They work really well for the kind of business that I do, the way that I like to interact with people. That's why I have free coffee chats. They're on a set day, they're on a set time, but in this navigation list, I can make it set apart. Let's say you run a membership model for your core New York City offering. You might have a free trial. You might have a $1 trial. So being able to set this call to action in a header customized navigation list, you set it at the header level. These are two different pieces. You've created a way to cross-sell, to invite, and guess what? When your customer is in your product, you're not rushing them. There's no need to rush. There is no need to have all of this noise, all of these emails blasting at them when you're relying solely on that. I hope what you're starting to see is that email is one layer of your conversation, and you have so many available to you when it's in a product. So you set your call to action right there. So that's your header. Then we've talked about your navigation list. Then also under the header setting, you have announcements. Okay, this is a feature. You set it in Kajabi. It lives right at the top. So let's pretend this was my free product. It lives right up here. You set the color so it's always there. Again, this has a call to action set of sequence or functionality. That's how I should say it. So call to action. The call to action button is go to a checkout page, go to a sales page, download a file, go to a URL. Same thing over here. Go to a checkout page, go to a sales page, download a file, go to a URL, go to a landing page is in there too. You can design this any way. Like any way. It's Disney World. It's you came into the gate through the free product, you're wandering around, and wow, look, you could buy a Mickey ears over here, and you could get a Mickey hat, and you could get a Mickey popsicle, and you could get a hot dog, and you're creating, just the coolest thing. The coolest thing by what? A free product, because Kajabi is a genius. Genius. Okay, so announcements, you can use, this can live up here. I've used it in some of my products for sending them to Messenger, so a URL that is the growth tool that then says never miss a live call. I like doing live calls, but they're pop-up. My schedule is such that with a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I am home full-time with my 2-year-old by choice. I love it. I'm not missing this time. But I often can't plan ahead. That's just the season I'm in right now. Next year, I'll be able to plan ahead. But I can't right now. But with Messenger, with the product, they go into this product once. They click this toolbar, the call to action above the toolbar. And then they're in Messenger. I look at my schedule and I'm like, you know what? In 6 hours, I can do a live call. I send it out on Messenger. Now, am I going to get 100% of everyone coming to the call? No. But I might get 10 to 20. And those 10 to 20, either it was just enough value for them where they needed, or guess what? It converts them to a customer because we had a conversation. We interacted. We had fun. So that's your announcements feature. Again, it's working for you all the time. All the time. And it's easy to change it. So, because all you have to do is change where the call to action points. Okay? So easy. Now, moving right along, you have your sidebar. Now, the cool thing, and I'm specifically talking about a Premier product, all right? Different themes have different strengths. This, for a free product, I really recommend the Premier theme because of how you can expand it and how you really can make it work. You have 2 sidebars in Premier. One is at the product level. This is what I would say is your main page because it shows up on categories. Then you have the post level. These are the individual lessons that might show up. All right? Product is your main page and categories. All right? The sidebar has so many features. You can have, we're going to have to erase our tomorrow bubble right here. I'm going to move him away. I need some space. Okay? This sidebar has the ability to custom block. You can do anything you want. Great. It has an image, which again has a call to action driven or linked to it so it can drive people just like a call to action. You have cross-sell. You have download. I think you have a URL. I'll double check when we do the screens. But this sidebar, you have instructor. This you can repurpose too. And I'm huge on repurposing sidebar stuff. But look at all the stuff you can do in a sidebar. I think about this as it's free billboard space. It is your billboard. You can put what you want on that sidebar. And because you are looking at the lens from my person is in this free product, but guess what? I have a whole park of fun going on over here. You're telling them about it without having to blast it at them like, hey, I've got stuff. You don't have to. You can be an incredible host. You can be an ideal hostess with your product as your setting. Walt Disney would, if he was alive, he'd be using Kajabi for Disney Institute. That, I have no doubt. This, you can set all of this. You can determine how do you want this to function? Where do you want people to go? What do you want them to see? You have what they need to see at the main level, and then you have what they need to see at the post level. Now, the cool thing with this is, I do this in mine, so the really cool part, again, they're in a free product. You are more than likely letting them see what tools you are using, how are you doing things, your little black book. I do this in my own products. I do it in the free products, and it's awesome. Affiliate commissions, affiliate links, tool recommendations. You have sidebars, all right? You have sidebars. You can put your little black book, the ones I love, Kajabi, MindMeister, MeisterTask, Animoto, TubeBuddy for YouTube, Loom. I have a really specific set of tools that I love, and they see me using them inside the product. Well, let them click. Do you have an Amazon store? Are you an MLM? Do you have a link out to, maybe your upcoming shows? Do you have a link to buy product? How are you creating this? Remember, you're Disney World. Disney has anything and everything and all the stuff you never even knew you wanted. In a free product, guess what? It's there all the time. It's working for you. So you have the sidebar, you have all of these different things. But one of the beauties is you can easily put your affiliate link in so that maybe someone never buys what you're offering. But guess what? They signed up and now you have 30% of their XYZ thing from now until they stop using it. Well, that free product again. Never hesitate to use this free product. Never. It can, if you really think it through, it is part of your entire business model. It is part of your entire business strategy, and it opens up so many opportunities. So you have the sidebar, and just in the interest of saving myself some space, I'm going to erase some of this stuff now. So the sidebar, again, we have two. I always think about if someone's on an individual lesson, what do they need to see in the sidebar? If someone's at the main page, what do they need to know then? And when you think about it like that, and you have all this billboard space and all of these ways to create an incredible user experience, a robust user experience, and you can change it up all the time. And we haven't even gotten to the ways that you can use content. So we're going to need some space here. So we know we can use the header and the custom navigation list. We know we can use announcements in the sidebar and the post. So we're going to just get rid of all of that right now. We know we have a username and password. Now we're getting to the content. All right. So you have categories. And again, these are all ways to strategically use your free product. So categories, let's say we have category 1, and we have category 2, and we have category 3. Well, in Kajabi, you can drip out categories. So let's say, we'll go with 4 just to start with, okay? This free product, You can rotate it without anybody knowing. You can use the feature of drip content. Let's say, for instance, you are a food blogger. You have quarterly meal plans that you would like people to purchase from you, and you don't want to keep recreating lead magnets because, frankly, build one really great one and then use your time talking about it, all right? So this, because I can drip this, there's a check, there's our check boxes. So here's our category, and we have the choice of published, draft, and drip. Okay? We're actually going to talk about, I got my words reversed there, we're going to talk about the draft feature right now. So the draft feature, food blogger, quarterly meal plans, exercise person, quarterly workouts, anybody wanting to round out your free content but not wanting to build a different product every time, all you do is one is published and the other categories that you don't want showing are draft. No one can see them. You can see them. The content is there. They each have their posts within them. But during the first quarter of the year, this is the free product that people see. And then it's time. The seasons have changed. The focus has changed. Whatever, okay? That's the beauty. Again, we're going back to our foundation, flooring, walls, and a ceiling. Yours can look different and should be different than everybody's. Now, this category 1, we'll erase these again. This time we'll just do check marks. This one, we'll do D's. D for draft. Draft, draft. Now, category 2 is published. So by clicking, and you're only working with these two buttons, you click category 1 to draft, no one sees it. You click category 2 to publish, everyone sees it. 3 and 4 are still in draft, nobody is seeing it. And guess what? You've given them an entirely new, fresh product. Well, guess what? You have your announcements bar at the top. You could change the announcement. You also can use the announcement email feature to let people know, hey, there's a new product here. So underneath or within the product, you can send an announcement. This is a feature I love all the features. I just need to not say that I love. So announcement goes out via email and is based on product owning. It is not based on whether they checked the box to receive marketing emails from you. Some people will, some people won't. It is based on, do they own this product? If they do, they'll receive notification via email, via whatever you want to tell them. So if you've changed this, now even people that might not get your marketing emails are getting this announcement. It's delivered via email, but it is not an email broadcast, so it goes through. That is how this product completely works for you. Like, you can change the content, but next year, let's say you go through a whole year, all right, a whole year, and now you're back to next year. You don't have to reinvent content. And the best part, okay, all of our energy, okay, your energy in terms of, gotta erase Fantasyland. Need some space. All right, we're gonna get us rid of Disney here for a minute. Think you guys got that concept. There we go. All of your North Pole traffic, okay? North Pole, cold, read magnet, RM, all of that is focused on moving people into your lead magnet, your free product. So this free product, the nice thing is your number is just going to go up. And all of the people that are in this free product, they have their subscriber hat on. So you're talking to them as if they're subscribers. And when they move to an introductory product or a core product, guess what? You just change the filter, the exclusionary filter in email marketing. Yes, that is my 2-year-old who's outside the door. This is real life, folks. You change the exclusion so that, let's say you're sending emails and you don't want it to send to people that have purchased, the new, whatever your intro or your core offer is. Kajabi makes it all possible. Like you don't have to freak out about that now. It's so easy to say, you know what, you've moved from here to here. Guess what? You don't get any more emails about this because you've already been there. You've taken the action that I wanted you to take, that you needed to take. I'm not going to keep sending you emails about something you already did. No need to stress about that. It's taken care of. Like you will set it up, but it is taken care of in Kajabi. So this, done. Like you can rotate content without needing to rebuild it. The other cool feature is, let's say that you were doing like an online summit or some kind of experience where you had different people, okay, different topics, whatever you want to call it, and they were happening over a series of days. Now, you can totally do these features using the events stuff. You totally can. That's the nice thing. There's different ways to do it in Kajabi. So you can achieve that same virtual summit thing by categories, because the categories are a person, just like that, and they're driven by time. So you can put inside a category, determine the drip dates, right, from the product level, and you can have person A, you can have person B, you can have person C. All of this can happen. You can make it where now, because we have locked content, so locked is another version now, that you can make it so they need to watch person A or topic A before going to topic B, before going to topic C. Again, you want to map all of this out beforehand. It's all entirely possible. You can do any of this. It's just so good. So you have 4 different features and you can think about, what am I doing? It's all still in a free product. Like, it's great. You have your features exactly like we have talked about to enhance what you're doing within this. So if you had any hesitation about using one of your 5, if you're on the basic plan, 5 products, I hope that this has given you food for thought, that you see you have your own Disney park. You are using this free product to provide an incredible experience. One piece, which is email, all right? Now, the email piece within this free product, let's erase this. Okay. You have both. You can do email broadcasts. You can do email sequences. Either one works. Sequences, you set up ahead of time. They are driven by a date, number of days, from the time the person starts the offer that kicked in. It's driven by days. So you can set up whatever kind of a sequence that you would like. Broadcasts are you select a group of people and then you send a message. The message can be scheduled or you can send it immediately. When you're doing these, people often get really caught up in, oh my gosh, I gotta tag them. Well, for a minute, remember, you're in Kajabi. It is a different word than any other tool you came from, which means it works differently than any other tool you came from. So the cool thing is, I want you to take a look at, in Kajabi, the filters that are already there. They've done the tagging for you because Kajabi assigns things based on actions the user takes. So you don't tags, even though we can tag people, that is a secondary function. So when you're looking, before you start going crazy with tagging, and you can always watch the video about filters versus tags, look at all the different ways you can filter for your broadcasts. One of them is owns the free product or doesn't own the free product. So again, you can, within your system, let's say you want to get the people that don't have the free product, you want to send them something. You can totally send them something. Kajabi's already put the sticker on them. I don't want to use the word tag because tag is separate in Kajabi. It means something different. But the filtering is like putting the stickers on them. And Kajabi already has so many pre-made stickers. Your sequences, this is where, remember I said I am not against communicating and conversations. They are my favorite thing. What I do not care for is traditional, meaning the last 10 years, and especially the last 5, email marketing, where I say I'm interested in your stuff, and by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, there's 8 emails, 90% of which is buy your stuff. I'm sorry, it feels so schmarmy. It feels icky. I don't like it, and I unsubscribe from you faster than I can click the button. That is very different than you invite me in. I get to have a product. It's at my speed. I'm in my convenience factor. Now for sequences, now have a conversation and give me a choice. Okay? Have more conversations and give me choices. And if you've watched Desired Destinations, if you've watched the email workshops, if you've watched Funnel Flippers, these conversations make so much sense because you really are cultivating a relationship, and it's focused on the person and their relationship with you. And relationships, when they know, like, and trust you, they will buy from you. It works. It works. Absolutely, it works. But this is where you bring in what I would say is more of a traditional funneling type option, where you're giving them options. And, if they choose this, a different sequence might turn on. A different product might be purchased. If they choose this, they might go to a webinar option. They might go to a live event. But all of this is happening based on your free product. It can happen in all of the other ways we talked about. The announcements, the sidebars, the navigation list. It can happen there. It can also happen in email sequences, where you set up this sequence and based on what kind of product it is, then you determine what these messages are saying and how they are saying them. So this is my take on one of, it's so good. I don't have a con. And if you do, please share it with me, because I have tried my darndest to break and say, you know what, it's good except for. It's good except when. This, I haven't been able to come up with something. And I have helped a lot of different businesses, including my own. I like the way that the free product, that the Kajabi geniuses, love all of you, created such a robust way to differentiate myself, for you to differentiate yourself. When I started my very first business on my own, which I was in my early 30s, I had done corporate, I had done, the traditional path, to say the least. But when I started my own, I was a lawyer and I was starting a law firm, and I couldn't name it Horton Law, the law offices of Tamsin Horton. I couldn't do it. It was a visceral reaction. I couldn't do it. And I remembered back, I had created, when I was in the corporate world, in collegiate trademark licensing, which is what led me to go get a law degree, I had done a presentation when I needed the company I worked for to look at pretty much every single one of our systems that had been in place for about 15 years. I'd only been at the company about 3 years at that point. I needed them to look at everything differently. And I labeled the presentation Vujade, to see things from a fresh perspective. I woke up in the middle of the night when I'm in my naming ordeal, and I realized it wasn't the law offices of Tamsin Horton, it was Vujade Law. To see law from a fresh perspective, to deliver law from a fresh perspective. And it was the best decision I ever did. So I encourage you, apply Vujade to the free product idea. Look at what you've learned. Look at what you haven't learned, what you think you don't know. You are a guru. You're an expert. You've got this. And look at it through the eyes of a fresh perspective. If you had a clean slate and you now know you've got the structural foundation, flooring, walls, and a ceiling, what does that look like for you? And if you couldn't tell, I love these topics. So please start a conversation with me in the comments below. Send me a message. I love this. And I really, really love talking through other people's stuff. I actually get more excited about your stuff than I do my own stuff. So have fun with this. Apply a Vujade perspective. Kajabi has given you the tools. I've shared with you my ideas on it. And now it is your turn. Go create your free product. Turn people into raving, crazy fans of yours, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.